only on Bulls Radio Lounge can you have Lucas from Lucas Lagoons on the air here.
Live.
What's up, guys? Glad to be on the show.
You're based out of Sarasota, right? Nice.
Yeah, I've been here 20 years already. Time flies.
I love that, man. That's a great town.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And I had a friend move here. This girl, right after high school, moved down. I came down to visit and was like, man, this is a spot for me. So moved here and started the business a few years later and grinded it out ever since.
I know you don't have a lot of free time, man, but do you fish down there at all?
Man, I've only been a couple times. I've been out about 40 miles grouper fishing with some clients, but man, we got jobs going in like 6 different states all over Florida.
You don't have time for that, do you?
yeah. I try to make some time for the family when I'm home, and that's about it. Just traveling, meeting a lot of people, collaborating with different artists and different contractors around the country, even out of country. We got to do a design for a hotel in Madrid, Spain. I got to go to Australia. It's just been crazy, man. They play the show in 22 different countries, so kind of dangerous. Imagine just giving everybody in 22 different countries your phone number and seeing what the hell happens.
Man, so how was Madrid?
Oh, it was cool, man. Just a really neat place. The hotel was really cool because it was designed, I don't know, it's probably about 20 years old already, but it was world-renowned architects doing kind of modern design at the time, and each floor was a different architect. So it was just really crazy, man. Every floor had a different theme, and it was just a really, really neat place, and to be able to do something really unique and kind of help bring it up to date. We didn't do a pool. We did like a outdoor water feature with private VIP dining and water walls and fire features and like nice. a whole experience, for the restaurant bar.
That place stays open almost 24 hours a day too. The Spaniards are known for late night eating and drinking, man. Like, so I'm sure that place gets viewed a whole lot. Like,
yeah, man, it was crazy. They were like the upstairs had on the weekends it was like a nightclub, and so you could hear it bumping until like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was there for work, so I tried to get to bed before then, but I heard the party going because I was on the top floor.
That does make it.
Damn it, man.
That makes it hard to sleep, man, when that's calling to you.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. Just humble beginnings growing up in Vermont, moved down here with a dream, and been working hard at it ever since.
Your folks were also like stonemasons. Is that the like proper term for that? Like.
Yeah, actually, so my parents met in college. They were hippies going to a hippie school called Goddard College in Vermont. Super, like, pretty laid back, liberal school. And they started building houses together. They actually built our house I grew up in. And they were building houses. Then my dad went into furniture making, and so he built furniture. He had a shop attached to the house with, like, a covered walkway. So we lived off the land pretty much, off 64 acres. And grew our own vegetables, and we're like hippies, up in the woods of Vermont. I grew up having to do everything, Luckily, we didn't have any cows to milk, but I mean, chopping wood, growing the garden, working outside. So I was always outside, and it just inspired by nature, and just loved it, And
but you also,
when my parents got divorced when I was 10, my mom started a landscape business, and so that's how I got into like the landscape side of things. But then I took it one step further, and when I started my own business and moved to Florida, I fell in love with pools, and I could just imagine doing the stonework and the landscaping that I grew up doing around pools, but with a tropical landscape and then boulders and water. And I just, really found my niche and realized after my first pool remodel, I'm like, this is what I want to do,
Man, you got my vote.
I gotta tell you, I watch the show a lot. Lucas is sort of like, mad crazy. He's like, I want this there and that there and here and there, and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, how do you see that? But he does it.
That's a vision, man.
Yeah, and it's like that's sort of like his fifth eye.
That's not art.
Well, I'm sure that also helps getting to like travel. Like, how many ideas have you gotten from getting to do pools overseas and seeing like other landscapes? And
what's kind of funny, and I don't know, like, a lot of, especially these days, a lot of people use like Pinterest and House to find ideas and make their little storyboards and say, this is what I want, which is cool. It's a great tool. Weird about it, I never wanted to see anyone else's work. I felt like it all had to come from me. So I didn't even really look online. Now because of, the show and everything, I see a lot more stuff. But like really I felt like everything had to come from within. Like I never put anyone else's pictures on my website. Everything was always my own portfolio, which drives me nuts because I see pool companies stealing my photos all the time and trying to sell it as their own.
Man, you need to watermark those things,
I'm like, man. I worked my ass off to get that picture on there, and you're just going to take it, you know? Happens all the time, man. It's terrible. I mean, and then people, it's really unfortunate for, you know, the client because they think they can build it and they can't. I mean, what I do is all natural stone. Now that we're doing some massive grottos, we're having to do some hybrids with some artificial rock to span like the 20, 30, 40-foot spans for these big grottos. But everything that you see on the outside, natural stone. I mean, the one right here, that's all natural stone. There's not one fake rock in that waterfall, man. And, you know, that's an art to be able to stack the rock like that safely and have it last forever. And that's something that really,
you're not going to get that.
People in the whole country doing that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting that from like your neighborhood pool guy.
No. This guy picks every single hand rock. He's like the rocks like whisper to him.
They do.
The rock whisperer.
Yeah,
rock whisperer.
You know.
So like,
you know, funny story about that.
So, they whisper it to you.
When they whisper it to you, you've been working way too many hours, my friend. Like.
Yeah, I imagine you saw that episode, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of talking dirty little to them, having fun. So it drove me nuts because they film like 500 hours for every episode, and it's only 44 minutes. So most of the shit you do doesn't even make TV. So I got kind of sick of it, and I was just kind of bored one day, and I was just messing with all the guys filming and, you know, all the producers, and just because, you know, they're always talking about how I talk to the rocks, and I was just really playing it up, and I was like, you know, I didn't think it would ever air. Well, not only did it air, but usually they do like 5 seconds of the scene. It was like a painful minute and a half of me just like
those guys
talking to the rocks.
Those guys totally threw you under the bus.
Really think I'm insane now.
Because I saw that.
Which, I mean, I am, but
no, I mean he's like a mad scientist doing these fools, man.
If like, all right, man, say like I lived in like Arizona.
Here we go.
Well, no.
You're not hitting with this yet?
No, I'm not hitting it with the AC pool yet, man.
You just
like
did.
that.
Just get that over with. Let him ask this question because he's been waiting. Go ahead.
Now we have Lucas from Lucas Lagoons on the phone here, and here's the thing, Lucas. We all went around the room to decide on, you know,
I'm born and
describing
raised
our
in Tampa,
pools.
so like this is a legitimate question.
Now I want you to hear his pool, and I want you to tell me what your expert opinion is on this pool.
Or have you ever put in, like, has anybody ever requested a chiller where like you could have a colder pool, like say you lived in like Orlando where the sun shines on your pool constantly and the water gets hot. Like I know they have heated pools. Have you ever had to make like a chiller for a pool? Like somebody's like, I want my water to be 70 degrees in like the middle of summer.
Yeah, well, you know what's cool is the new heat pumps can also chill. So if you do a dual thermostat.
That's awesome. You just made my day, man.
Oh, man. Thank you, because we've been hearing about this for over a week.
Yeah.
That's my chiller cape. You gotta wear a pink chiller cape, and then you can, you know, you
dude,
chill out, man. But
that just
you can chill a pool.
Oh, yeah, so happy
that makes a Florida pool a whole nother level in like August, man. Like I mean, because I'm like born and raised here, so like even jumping in like a pool like middle of summer, you're like, oh, it's gonna be great, and you're like, ugh, like it's the Gulf, like man, like
yeah. I feel you, man. It needs to be refreshing for sure. So, yeah, I mean, you can totally chill them. I mean, the technology's come a long way with just all the automation and different systems and the more efficient pumps, and it's pretty cool. You know, I've never really been like a techie geek. I was always more into the aesthetic, but you know, of course, with these multi-million-dollar pools we're building nowadays, you know, you got to have all the technology as well as like, the aesthetic. You know,
you can run the fire and the lights and everything off like your iPad, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah, so this right there was a remodel. So we started out doing really a lot of remodels, and now it's mostly fresh builds. You know, you typically will rip out the old pool and start with a new one. So, you know, then we're able to just build everything from the ground up exactly the way they want it. And
man, that's a lot of mud.
Yeah, man. This freaking, we've had ones we went through. Some of the waterfalls. I think it was 60 yards of sand, and that would be about. I'm trying to think.
Dude, that's a lot of mud.
About
that is,
about 20 pallets of Portland. all mixed by hand, put into 5-gallon buckets and dumped. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just you go through a lot of mud.
I was one of those guys, man. That was a summer job, man, making mud for a blockhouse guy, and it was miserable.
You ever had one pool that you just went to because they wanted you to take it out, or you look over there and you go, oh man.
Well, the worst jobs are the ones without access. So one job we did, I think it was 48 ton of stone, which isn't a lot by our standards nowadays. We'll do a couple 100 ton of stone. But back then, we did a remodel. It was 48 ton of stone, but we had to wheelbarrow it down a narrow path. And then we did a couple 1,000 square foot of decking we had to bring in. Everything had to go in with a wheelbarrow by hand. It was brutal. I think it was August when we started that job.
When we started? When did you finish that job?
Oh man, that was like a 4-month job. So at least by the end of it, November, it was a little better. But, lately, shoot, it's hot through November. It's still 90 degrees, maybe not as much humidity, but, it's crazy.
What was your biggest pool that you've made to date?
So the latest episode we had was a 2-hour special. It was filmed up in Tampa. Had a tree house that we had to actually make our own tree because to meet the wind codes of Florida, you're not allowed to build a tree house in a natural tree. So we had to do this crazy tree house, 140-foot water slide, a big pergola, infinity edge, fire bowls, everything. And that was just over $2 million. And it was mostly due to just, the infrastructure, everything we had to build. The water slide, the tree house, everything was so custom. And, the tough thing is really no one had built a treehouse like that. So we're basically reinventing the wheel every job. So it's so custom that, you have to fight with, the municipalities to get approval because we're doing stuff that hasn't been done really. So doing the engineering and permitting, and that client kept making changes during the process that would set us back.
Oh, man.
That makes it easier.
Definitely.
Super cool guy, a great family, a lot of fun. Now we're building them a place in Key West. So it's got a lazy river. It goes underneath the house.
Come on, cool, underneath the
house.
Yeah, super cool, man. Most fun family. First time I met him, picked me up on his private jet at the airport, and we flew to Key West. Went and looked at the property, then went to Irish Kevin's, had some drinks.
Nice.
Partied for the rest of the day and flew home, man. And I'm like, for no other reason than just that. That's why I would want to make a lot of money. So I could just have my own plane, not deal with freaking security, just go wherever the hell you want. It was so badass.
Yeah.
What kind of drink do you drink when you go out?
Oh, man, it depends. I go through phases. I'll drink something, get sick of it. I used to really be into whiskey, and then it was IPAs. And lately, I don't know, I think just the beers just start tearing me up. So I've been drinking Grey Goose and pretty much like different flavored sodas, soda water, like seltzer or whatever. But I like wines too. I like everything, man, pretty much,
Yeah, we got to have them live in the bar, man.
Yeah, man, I would definitely do that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, come up Tampa one night, man. We'll feed you some Spanish food, man, and get you drunk.
So how is the production process for, when you start filming, until the end, it takes you like almost 6 months or so, or 6 weeks to build these pools, right? But then the show is 45 minutes, without commercials.
So it's brutal. Like right now we're not filming, thank God, because we have so much work. When you're filming, they pretty much dictate your time. You go to the job site and you get you're there, 8 to 12 hours a day, and you get half that time you're able to work. The other half you're, recreating the things that you need to do to tell the story. So train your guys to pretend to work a lot. It's really, really tough. People that haven't been on TV, they don't really realize how much work and how much sacrifice it is. They think you're just, it's all fame and fortune and glory. There's nothing glorious about it. It is brutal.
I was going to say, man,
you have to,
your workers.
But it's rewarding. We're very proud of the show, and it's gotten us to where we are. But it was really tough, man. Being a super small business, I basically went from just an artist that did my craft, very small business, to somebody that's had to learn to really put on the business hat and figure that side out. It's been 16 years now since I started Lucas Lagoons, and I feel like really the first 10 years was just kind of research and development, figuring out exactly the best ways of doing things. And And now it's basically, we have our systems down on construction, and now it's figuring out how to scale something that's not really scalable. I mean, everyone expects to see me. I do the designing, the consulting, build the pools, but now I have a great team that I put together. I got someone in charge of every aspect of the build and the design side, and so now I can put on different hats and make sure everything. Yeah. I have someone to finish everything, so I can get out there and develop it and keep growing it. So that's really cool, and that's just happened really in the last couple of years. So we're getting there, but super tough.
Have you had anybody from the UAE hit you up yet? Abu Dhabi, any of that kind of crazy man? Desert Lagoon?
We had a couple. We had a couple of people. Nothing has come to fruition yet, but I did have a guy from there that bought a property in California. Long story short, I felt like the whole thing was crazy, right? So I get there. He wants basically what he describes to me is like at least $20 million to do. He wants a helicopter landing pad. He wants like the 2 acres of his mountain backyard turned into Niagara Falls coming down. He wants everything, opulent, over the top, And so
that almost sounds like a scam, dude.
So I sit down at dinner, right? And the guy goes, "So Lucas, what do you think my dream will cost me?" And so I'm like, "Shoot, I don't know, man. You're all over the place." I'm like, and I went really low because I didn't want him to choke on his food. I said, "I don't know, man. You're talking like at least $10 million when it really should have been 20, but I had to start somewhere."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No. I have $1 million." I was like, "Where's Ashton Kutcher? Where the fuck is he?" I thought I was
a helicopter landing.
Dude,
yeah,
everything's going to be made out of popsicle sticks, dude.
Remember like Austin Powers, and they're like,
$1 million.
It's really not a lot of money anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like building a regular pool in California is probably going to cost you close to $1 million for even just a regular.
Just for an acre.
Just for a stock gangster pool, like a custom pool in California, built by anybody is gonna be $1 million.
Oh yeah,
like, man,
it's gonna be over
much
$1 million.
less like this guy's level. Like, man, that's ridiculous.
Dude, he was after walking up and down this mountain and going over all this stuff. He literally wanted on his phone an app where guns would come out of the ground and shoot the bears if they came to get him. Like, he's like, "I want the app on phone," and he's like, "Bear, rawr, rawr." So funny.
That had to be like a Jerky Boys thing or something, man. Like that's too.
It was surreal. I couldn't even believe what was happening. I wish I had that on film. It was priceless.
I wish he could have found somebody to build it because I would love to see what that botched job looks like, man. Like I'm sure like the whole mountainside would have caved in. And,
Lucas would have put like M16s on the side and smoke grenades.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to give you an app to like shoot like weapons on your pool. Like that's not going to, man. Like, there's certain tech that they're just not going to let out, man. Like you shouldn't have that. Like you shouldn't have that. I don't care how much money you got and how scared of bears you are.
What was the craziest feature you added to a pool?
Oh man, I'm just trying to think. So many different features. I mean, I got one that I've been wanting to do. I haven't done yet because I could go on forever with the features. But I've been wanting to do a huge grotto with like a shark tank inside. So when you're sitting in there, you got like the sharks as the backdrop inside your grotto.
Yes. I was going to ask you if you'd done the aquarium yet.
And I even met with Brett, Brett and Wade from Tanked, and I met him. We're talking about it. So we're going to work together on that when I get the right client. And do a shark tank in the grotto. I think that'd be super cool.
That'd be awesome.
How cool would you, man, if you could have like the tank behind you and then have a tube like either going like under the bench to like a center part where they would come out like a little touch tank kind of thing.
Right. I got you.
And then go back into the aquarium where you're sitting around it like in the grotto. Like,
oh, okay, I got you.
It's my pet shark. Come out, man. with my $1 million, that would be so cool. Like,
the shark tank though, that's got rapper written all over it. So there's gonna be a rapper that's you got to just throw it out there. One rapper's gonna want
It's
that.
gonna want real bad.
That's rapper
real
quality
bad
right there. Just a shark for no reason.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They might ask for an octopus. Who knows? You never know.
I want a shark and a grouper, and they're gonna hang out like.
But that's why, you know, with Lucas, you know, he could do whatever you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got friends with like all like those like aquarium guys and all the other like show guys kind of thing. So you could like collaborate on stuff, right?
Would you put fire on a pool, like, you know, shooting out, you know, 4, 5, 6, 10 feet in the air?
Yeah, Bull wants an.
Oh yeah, we could do some fire plumes. I mean, we've done some big like linear fire features, all kinds of fire features, but none that shot up that high. So that would be definitely something that would be pretty cool to do.
I think Bull wants his pool to look like a Motley Crue concert, basically, man, with like fire and like he's in the water with like some crazy like
Watch this.
Yeah. There's stuff going on. Hold my beer. Watch this with 6-foot fire. Like
I want fire. I want
music
speakers.
in the background.
Yeah.
I want intelligent lighting.
I want a Kiss concert that I can swim in.
Like a full-on show. $20 for admission.
So how much for a Kiss concert pool? I think is what, man.
How much you got?
$1 million.
That's a great answer. That's a great. I got $1 million. Here's a boombox and some bottle rockets, dude. Have at it. Like,
have you ever had that? You know, people want speakers in their pools or
underwater music.
Yeah, we done underwater speakers. We do like the burial subs around the pool. A lot of satellite speakers.
That's great.
Rocking, man. So Frankie on the show with Coastal Audio Video, he does all my outdoor speakers because he's from New York. So he said speakers.
Knows how to wire. I love having the speakers underwater.
Yeah,
that's a great feeling. That's a great, man, when you dive underwater and you get to hear like the bass and stuff, man. That's a nice soothing feeling. Like I enjoy that.
Hell yeah, man. Or like Eddie Murphy, you know, Coming to America, the first scene, you know, she's underwater and comes up.
Yeah, exactly.
She won't even miss the beat. She's under
there. Yep. That's what pools are all about, dude.
We all got that reference. I appreciate that reference.
Yeah.
Need that sexy time cave.
Yeah. That's what, man, the back area with only the shark's going to see shit. Like that shark's not going to tell anybody.
We have Lucas Lagoons. He'll build you a phenomenal pool, whatever you want. Just tell him, hey, look, you know what? I want a tank, and he'll build you a tank. That's the creative mind from Lucas.
Anything you want, fire. Like I love the lava rock, just like the subtle lava rock fire. Like man, features. Like that's a nice subtle touch for lighting up your backyard. Everything's like natural fire, no lights, kind of thing.
On the show, you know, obviously you're the head person in charge. You're telling people what to do. Now you also have Woman, right?
Yep.
And Woman
that's my mom.
That's your mom, and she's a stone
mom
mason
doesn't take
as well.
no shit. Looks
Still
like
goes
dude.
in there and gets stuff done. I appreciate it.
Do you guys sort of get into a lot of bickering on the show? I mean, off the show when you're doing pools, or just sort of like kind of play it up on the show?
No, I mean, Crash and Woman butt heads all the time. You know, so it's mostly Crash and Woman, or Old Man and Woman. They bicker. I don't really bicker with anybody. I'm the boss, so.
Gotcha.
I don't really have to bicker.
Good answer.
I let them bicker, and then I step in when they won't shut up. And I tell them what to do.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate answer. I like that. That's all.
And then Crash, he's the does he one that controls all the big heavy machinery, right?
Yeah, when I'm not on it, he's the main machine guy, and he's the guy that he's been with me since the beginning, man. We did the first pool remodel together. And he had experience doing pool tile coping and stuff, and I just had the landscape background. So yeah, we've been together since the beginning. We had a couple years where we took a little break, but yeah, man, he's been there, and so he runs the equipment, does the stonework, does pool stuff. He kind of does a little bit of everything. So
now, who races to the machinery first? You or him?
Well, Crash is always the one trying to get on the equipment. So
I love how the main equipment guy's name is Crash. That doesn't make me feel safe about Crash is trying to get to the equipment first. I said, nah, he's going to have to.
Yeah,
he got seconds.
Yeah.
Well, he's crashed a lot of my stuff.
All right, okay.
It happens sometimes, man. Like when you're picking up those giant stones, man. Yeah, like having crash up under you. I don't know, man. Like that's questionable.
Well, luckily he's not really crashing equipment. It's more like the extracurricular activities after work.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The motorcycles. The
So
cars,
don't go out with him then. That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Don't go riding with him.
You're okay to work with them, but afterwards, well, I'm gonna have to go home. I
Yeah.
appreciate
I
it.
don't know. That might be a good show right there.
I'll go drinking with him and go
Yeah.
riding. It's all right.
Also, you have another gentleman named Old Man.
Old man. So he's not my dad. Some people think that he's not even that old, but he just acts like such an old man. I think we started calling him Old Man. He was 49 years old. That's only like 7 years older than me right now. So
Nice.
I'm not planning on calling myself Old Man anytime soon. Let me just tell you that. But
Yeah.
he's funny, man. He's a great stonemason, hardest working guy, great heart. He loves. His thing is he loves to go out and do karaoke and play pool. So that's his thing.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Nope.
Man, we just all need
Everybody's got their vices, my friend.
How cool would that
Yeah.
if we had the whole crew here to do a live show
I'll
yeah,
make
that'd
some
be
special
badass.
drinks.
We should do that. You guys it would be a hoot.
and
We'll
just
let Old Man sing.
yeah, that'd be a great show.
Let him
Just-
get loose.
Somebody's gonna have to drive Crash home though. I won't feel comfortable.
yeah. Let's get someone to drive him
Yeah,
home.
make sure he gets home safe.
Man, that would be a. I'm excited about that. If we all come down to like one of those restaurants in Sarasota.
I'd like to come see his like shop actually in like.
Oh, we could do one from
I'd
his shop.
I'd like to see your shop, man. Like I love tools and
Yeah.
machines and
Well,
stuff.
right now we're
like,
about to close on our design studio downtown Sarasota, and then we got to do a build out. So in a couple months, we'll have that place dialed in. We could even do a show there. We're right downtown by all the bars and restaurants. We got
that's convenient.
Art Ovation Hotel, which has a rooftop bar right across the street.
Oh.
So
Beautiful.
the whole idea was to be able to put up our out-of-state clients at the hotel, and then meet at the showroom and go through the design, and then head out and get something to eat and drink after. So it's going to be awesome.
That's man. Yeah,
That'd be badass.
Downtown Sarasota's got a lot, man. There's a bunch of like breweries that are down there. A lot of good bars. Like
Yeah, have you guys tried Big Top Brewery? That's our local favorite. Frankie and I. Go to
Yeah.
Big Top.
they sell that up here in Tampa.
What was the big top we had? I remember it.
It wasn't the grapefruit one.
Was it the no? That wasn't the grapefruit.
Yeah, we
They
had
got
a
the
big.
Circus City IPA. They got Ashley Gang. They got a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, man, I have to remember, man. We tried one that actually stuck out that I was like, wow, and then, like it's one that I haven't seen again. Like I don't know if it was like a summertime brew or what it was, but
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool. Sarasota's come a long way. I mean, it's starting to become a little bit younger. Not quite as hip as like St. Pete and stuff, but
yeah.
it's a good place.
Sarasota used to be
and St. Pete's
real silver top, man, back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
like it's all the old folks down there. Everybody drives 25, and man, you gotta make sure people like stop at stoplights and
That's the daytime in Florida.
yeah,
Yeah.
in general.
2 boys, 6 and 11. They got 4-wheelers. We got dirt bikes, side by sides.
Oh
They like
man,
to rip it up and go on the zip line and go on the swings. And then we go to Tennessee and ride a lot. And we love the mountains, man. I'm looking one day to go back to the mountains and just screw off in the woods. I like to mountain bike, snowboard, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I'm all about the man taking bikes up to the mountains and going riding
I
those
just-
those cool Blue Ridge roads.
riding those paths, through the mountains.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
going road racing in the mountains, man. My mom lives like right outside of like Asheville, and so I go up there to North Carolina a lot, man. And it's fun to take the bikes up there.
Yeah, I love that whole area, like Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee.
Yeah.
Go to
yeah.
Chattanooga a lot. That's a cool town.
Yeah. A lot of fun music bars and live music stuff.
Songbirds, I think it's called. They just had opened out a few years ago, and I went there and saw a concert. It was really cool, man. Just like a really good scene going on up there.
Yeah.
With music and breweries and little restaurants, and
Yeah.
just took like an old dirt into like a really hip.
It's
Cool
everything.
place.
It's everything that like pretty much you want out of like regular life. I got good food. I got good like beer to go drink, and then some music to go, and then like I don't have to worry about. I can leave my house unlocked when I go to sleep. Like
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool. So I love it. It reminds me of Vermont without having to drive all the way back or fly all the way back.
that's
So
a long.
That's
yeah.
where we get most of our rock, So it's like 680 miles, I think, from my house to the Rock Yard. So it's
Oh.
not too bad considering.
Yeah.
So we get tons of rock brought down from Tennessee for our pools and waterfalls. I go up there, hand select the rock for each job. I mean, from the design to picking out the rock, everything's so custom. I have this vision in my mind. I put it all together. Now I got this great team to back me up and help me build them. And we have 38 projects on the books right now. Average about $1 million a piece of projects, so it's a lot of work.
That's crazy, that's a lot of rocks, my friend.
Yeah, and we used to only do about 3 to 4 million a year in pools, and now a couple pools are that much. It's insane, man. It's just grown so much.
Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations, dude. Like, that's such a great, man, story, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I got started with the TV thing on YouTube. I just made YouTube videos. A lot of what you're showing are just my videos we made like 10, 15 years ago, obviously. I mean, look at Chris right there. Like, oh, man. So,
you ever look back on them?
Yeah, sometimes. It's fun. Actually, I just took all my old tapes and I had them put onto a hard drive so I can look through everything and start editing, making some, like, back in the day videos. I think the fans would love that.
Yeah, some retro stuff,
on
man.
Social media.
That would be awesome to see.
The old retro, man, back when it was really hard carrying stones.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, this video here is like from probably in the beginning. I mean, I bet this is 14 years ago.
Oh, the one that's playing now?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that job was one of the early remodels. So, I mean, that's really the kind of stuff that got us started. And now they're just,
now they're crazy,
so
man.
much bigger and badder. Crazy, yeah.
Now, do you do the whole, do you do the screen as well, or just, concentrate on the pool and that's about it?
Yeah, I mean, we try to find a local screen contractor wherever we go, because, it's just going to be a better price for the client. So, but we do everything in-house, except for the gunite or shotcrete, which pretty much every pool company subs out that, because you have companies that that's all they do every day.
Yeah.
They come in, shoot the pool shells, but we do our own layout, dig steel. We have to do our steel work because we require so much more steel and concrete than a typical pool to support the weight of the rock. All we sub out is basically the interior finish of the pool, the gunite, and then like the pool cage. But I mean, we do the pool, the rock work, landscaping, lighting. We got my buddy Frankie that does the AV work, decking. I mean, everything you see is we design and build.
It looks damn comfy, man. Make me want to go sit in the jacuzzi right now.
Yeah, you have to watch the shows, man, because it's just the way he builds them and shapes them is like just form fitting.
Yeah, see the before and after right here, man. Just that, like, by itself, that's game changing right there.
Yeah, man, that's working with something that was there. Now we're just doing crazier stuff, but I mean, it's still beautiful to this day, timeless.
Yeah.
And the one right there, I mean, that's an architectural one I was super scared it was going to be gaudy, but it came out so opulent. Like, when you're there in person, it's beautiful. I mean, it's
that's classy, man. Like, considering the house, like that's...
This is Lucas's first video.
A bunch of how-to videos for you so that you can learn all the things that I've learned over the past 15 years.
Man, you sound young, son.
Yeah, do you?
Water features, lagoon-style pools, and outdoor kitchens.
That's way back
so
when.
Stay tuned, because the next 15 or so videos are
man, time flies. It's crazy.
I mean, not bad.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's great stuff right there. Just in that video alone, the pools that you were doing at that time were just sort of the same value as what you're doing now, but just more flair to it as you're doing it now. Does that make sense?
Just gotten bigger, that's all.
It just multiplies.
Same elements, same concept.
Yeah, just how much you want to spend on it.
If I win the lottery, I'm calling Lucas Lagoons.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
My house will look like shit, but I'm gonna have a badass pool, dude. Like, that's my main, that's where I spend most of my time.
I'm gonna be like, you know what, Lucas, just do your canvas on my backyard.
Yeah, I need a grill and I need that pool, and I'm pretty much set. Like, I can sleep somewhere.
What's funny is I love your idea with the metal building. I had the same idea. My wife and I were gonna build like kind of a modern, kind of industrial, but yet a little bit of farmhouse to it. Take a metal building and then elements, and then do just like big square footage, big bang for the buck, and then do like a thick lagoon that wrapped around it with a lazy river. So
dude, that's
to like go over the lazy river to go to the farmhouse, like just something super cool like that.
Yeah, see, you got what I was talking about, man. Like, that's when you have
so
property.
Funny you were saying that, because I was like, man, that's exactly what the fuck I was thinking.
When you got property like that, you could do something like that. Like, all right, my house is gonna be cool, but like this area is gonna be so much more, like, where I'm gonna spend more time time, like in general kind of thing, like do like that route. Well, nice.
Yeah, man, because I mean, I was looking at some kits. Like there was a really cool over 4,000 square foot. I think the kit was like 80 grand. Of course, you have your foundation, your build out. I mean, you'll still be hundreds into it, but I mean, you're gonna have, you know, your typical house these days probably more like $200 a square foot to build, so you could probably build that for, you know, less than 100.
And just
you know what I mean?
Insulate the hell out of that whole farmhouse basically, and then have like a half shop and then your other half house.
Yeah,
like set, man. I'm good.
That's the vision of him, man. That's what he
and
does.
then just have a badass pool all the way around it, like man.
That's what I'm saying. I
want
want
like a one big open room downstairs. The first floor could be like the big party room that opens out to the pool. And then do like your private loft upstairs. You'd have like 2,000 foot upstairs, 2,000 foot downstairs.
Beautiful,
you know?
done. Like, and it just looks inconspicuous. So if anybody ever like comes by, like they're not gonna realize what's inside of that thing. Like that's why I like those, especially if you're out and you have like property that just looks like a barn. Like all right, until you go inside.
Have you built one indoors?
Trying to think. No, under the house, but not fully indoors yet. I actually almost bought a house up in Tennessee with the indoor pool I was going to remodel. I was so excited for it, but my wife ended up not wanting to get it. But that'd be really cool, you know. I want to do one with, like, the whole roof is, like, retractable glass. So when the weather's nice, you know, it opens up. Pretty badass. But then, like, all winter long in a northern climate, if you can make it feel like a tropical paradise inside, I mean, get rid of the winter blues, you know. Go have palm trees in the atrium, a killer lagoon. That would be so badass.
Yeah, that makes snow a lot cooler.
I mean, I always thought buy like an old glass roof on it, build like a lagoon and a beach inside, and it would make a great, like, even do it if it was like a venue to have events. And
to have like dinners and like.
Yeah, you could do different events. Like you could have a upstairs balcony that wraps around the whole thing. That would be all nice and more like, you know, where you can dress and shoes, but the first floor, like all sand, like the whole thing's beach, the palm trees growing through it, like a lagoon, a waterfall, and then upstairs would be like, you know, all nice wood floors and, you know, more like a nice dining kind of area if you wanted to wear like shoes and, you know, dress a little nicer, but the beach party could be down below, you know, that'd be so cool.
That sounds like your ultimate, like, imported Key West party, basically, like, anywhere you were at, like, have that up there in
Key West
Vermont.
In Vermont
yeah, exactly, like.
Imagine the day of snowboarding, you know, you go there and have a beach party.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
Yeah, we're going to unwrap Christmas, presents by the pool in flip-flops while it's snowing outside. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, Lucas from Lucas Lagoons, thank you so much, my friend. Definitely, when you're in town, man, let me know. You know, are you in your third season now?
Yeah, so we filmed 3 seasons. Now they're replaying the 3 seasons on DIY Network. So we're looking to see if we're going to do season 4. I don't know yet. They haven't told me. You know, I'm a little bit torn. You know, I mean, we're so busy. It's going to be hard to throw the show in the mix. But I'm hoping maybe to get some of these massive jobs built and then do my own production company so I can control it, because it was just too hard to
Man.
I really need like a follow behind schedule. I need a team that follows me instead of telling me what I need to do every day.
You just need GoPros. Everybody needs a GoPro.
Yeah, just do a GoPro
and then just
style.
somebody edit that shit all together. Like, man, the GoPros are so good now. Like, just a
Well, I mean, you can do 5 major days. You got the meet and greet the first day where you meet the clients, and you do a couple of check-ins through the build, and then the big reveal. So you should really only have 5 days
of actual
per
filming
project that you have full of actual, like, full-on crew filming. The rest can be running and gunning with like one camera guy, an audio guy, and just capturing like the process, and then time lapses and GoPros. So
GoPro or a drone over the top, and just, man, have it overlooking everything and call it a day.
I mean, you can totally do it. You know, I mean, they're spending like about $500,000 an episode to create it now. You could do it for $200,000 an episode.
That's
you know?
Yeah. You could do a GoPro and a drone, and, man, have some really good behind the scenes footage. And
that would be nice. That'd be a very different aspect of what he does. And then that way, even if he wants to go and build or, you know, repair something on the water, the GoPros are right there. Do you ever get tired of the production people? Or?
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, I love the people I work with daily, like the whole crew. I mean, we became like a family, and it's like, it's so weird when they go away and then you're not with them every day anymore. But in terms of like the way, you know, they run things, that's a different story. But in terms of like, the people on the ground daily, like they're all awesome people, man. The camera guy, producer, all those guys, audio guys. I mean, just super cool people. And,
that's awesome.
I miss them, so I hope we get a chance to work together again.
Yeah.
Because, we're like a big family.
Because I don't know, man. I couldn't do that camera thing all day long. You know what I mean? Like in my face.
Oh,
like
it's
that.
brutal.
Yeah.
It'd be hard not to drop F-bombs at like some point during the day when I'm working. Stub your toe, drop a rock on your finger. You're going to hear a lot of beeps. I'm sorry.
That stupid pipe. Oh, my God.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it wouldn't sound authentic if you were like, that gosh darn rock just smashed my finger. Like,
it'd be like a whole bleeps throughout the whole
yeah,
segment.
like, sorry, man. We got to take a time out here, sir.
Well, Lucas, thank you so much, my friend. You can always come on the show whenever you want to. And just call up and we'll have you on.
Check in, man.
Check in. But definitely, we should get together and just sort of have like a, meet and greet, do a show, and just sort of get loose and just have fun with it.
Sounds good, man. We'll do it. I'll talk to the guys. We'll figure out when we might be able to do that. It'd be cool to meet you guys in person, hang out. So that's awesome.
I'd love to come see the new showroom downtown there too. That's, man.
We could go live on our phones and
we can
just
do
start broadcasting,
Or we can just go hang out.
Or just hang out.
That's what, man.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
Maybe we don't want to be on film.
Well, thank you.
That sounds good, man. I'll let you know when we get that thing finished up and get on it.
That's awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure to talk to you, man.
All right. Thank you so much, Lucas. You can always go to lucaslagoons.com. Am I right?
All of his YouTube, Twitter, Facebooks, all that.
lucaslagoons.com, man. And we're also on all the social media stuff. So,
Facebook,
check it out.
It's
Instagram.
all that. Yeah, it's all that Lucas Lagoons.
He's on DIY. The guy's a celebrity, a star, and he's right here locally. Lucas Lagoons. Lucas, thank you so much, my friend, and I appreciate you coming on our show. We are very honored to have you on.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys, man. It's been a good time. Talk to you soon.
All right,
Have
man.
a good night, bub.
See ya.